Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kendra's Card Challenge number 19, our August Mystery Kit Card Hop. I'm Sean Manley with Manley Made Minute, and I am so thrilled you are here. Today, we have a really cool kit to show you. I am in love with this paper like nobody's business that came in my kit. So I'm super excited to show you. And then we're going to do 2 extra cards. I have done 98% of the prep, so it should be really quick. But Kendra was just so kind to send a little sampler kit with mine, just as a little thank you and some inspiration. And I thought, I got to make some cards out of it, of course. So I am going to make 2 more sketches on top of our mystery kit. So don't forget to follow along in the hop. The hop link is in the description below for August Mystery Kit. It's going to be myself and my amazing friend Jana and my other amazing friend Shalana, who is going to be one of our guest artists for this Mystery Kit hop for August. So be sure to check out all 3 of our hops and videos for this month, and give us a thumbs up and a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are not a member of my channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to have you guys follow along. I also am Manly Made Minute on Instagram, where I do card hops and all kinds of stuff on there as well that you don't see on YouTube. So would love to have you follow me on both. Let's just jump right into it. I'm so excited to do these 3 cards today, so let's just get right into it and go down below to my table. Look at this paper, you guys. This is amazing paper. So let's just go over the kit really quick, and then we'll assemble this card. So for the mystery kit, I'm going to be doing sketch number 8. Okay, and so this paper to me, when I looked at the sketches, is like, it's got to be sketch number 8, hands down with the pattern. So look at this paper. So our paper is from one of our prize sponsors, Not Too Shabby Shop, and what great paper. All double-sided papers, okay? Great designs. You can see we're going to be using it, one of my little gnomies out of this one. But this was on the back side, but I had to cut one of these cute little guys out of there. But really great pattern on these paper. I am using this one as my background, and we'll get to that in a second. Then the cardstock that came with this is beautiful. A great shade of pink and green to match. Then we've got the red and some black that came in the kit. All right, I'm pulling out the pink and the green for the layers of this card. And then the stamp set, Watermelon Nectar by Picket Fence. Adorable little set. This is like I think this is like a 4x4 roughly. So what a cute little set. I'm gonna get this out right away. Then you also should, I got in mine 2 little gnome stickers. I was going to use these until I was shuffling through the deck of this paper and found my little gnomey guy here. So I cut one out instead. I'm going to save these for another little project. Then I got the sentiment set in the sample pack, and that she sent me, and we're going to use one of the sentiments out of here, and this is for Patreon members. This was one of the bonus printables that you can download. I'm going to use the Find Joy in the Ordinary sentiment off of this one, and I'll show you where we're going to put that when we get to it. So let's just start assembling. What I want to do first before I assemble is stamp out my one little piece that I had left. So if you look on your sketch number 8, the far right gray piece is your creative freedom piece to do whatever you want with. I'm doing mine in white, and that's what I'm going to stamp my cute little watermelon slices on. And I'm going to essentially just kind of create my own designer series paper, or DSP. I just love doing that. I love taking stamps. If I can't find something to matchy-matchy, I love taking stamps and just creating my own, whether it's tone on tone, whether it's colorful. I just love taking that. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have this little, this is called a stitching plate from Cherry Lynn Designs. I don't do these very often, so I was super excited to get this in my kit because I just recently bought a couple different pattern ones, like two, but my first two purchases. So super excited to get this because I don't do these stitching, piercing kind of plates very often. All right, I'm gonna do pink first, and then I might just shift and do one more in green. It was a new stamp, so you kind of saw me rubbing it down. And I'm just using a block. It's going to be a one and done kind of situation. Fingers crossed. Just let that kind of adhere, get that ink on that paper. I'm not pushing too much. I don't want to smush down my design on this. I did tape this down just to keep it from shifting on me. And so let's see here. Let me grab a towel. Just gonna wipe this off, and I'm gonna shift it with just a kind of a bright green, not too dark. This paper, as you can see in this corner here, I've got a dark and a light green. I'm just gonna do a light version of green. I got the dark out just to see how I was feeling when the time came, but yeah, we're just gonna go light green. And I'm gonna just do a quick little one with this one. And so I'm just gonna kind of look at my pattern. I'm kind of overlaying my pattern, so I'm filling in the gaps essentially in between that pink, like so. I love that. I absolutely love that. That is the cutest little stamp set ever. Okay, now let's assemble this card. I took off the measurement, so I've got the pink that came in my kit as my big background. Then my little background, I took one of the papers, and then I ran this through with my stitching plate. Now the stitching plate, essentially, I'm going to see if the camera will grab that, should look like this when you do it right, okay? I flipped it because I wanted these little pokey things up. It's like an embossing folder. It's going to pierce it with these little dashes. If you do the reverse of it, you're going to have it poking up. I wanted the texture poking up. I wanted some texture off of this one. So I did it the opposite. And on my watermelon piece that we're going to run through, I'm going to do it with the stitching. So I want this texture on here 2 times. And I'm doing the opposites of each other when I do this. All right. Just like so. That matches this paper. I just love it. And you can't go wrong with plaid, right? And especially pink and green. Like, come on. Like, I think pink and green should be like a national color because I think they're just so pretty. Okay, now what I'm doing for my squares, and then this is my matte layer that you can see the black piece that's on your sketch. This is this one. I am taking this, I cut this to size, so I added up the width both directions on those squares so that I could assemble this on just a piece of tablet paper. So I had like a little template to put this on. And so this is to size. And I'm just lining it up. It just, to me, it makes it easy to glue down. You could use a piece of typing paper. You could probably use an extra piece of cardstock. If I just didn't want this to get too thick, but piece of scratch paper, whichever, right? All right, so that is papers D and C. Now I'm doing my next paper, which I believe is E, right next to that. Like so. Oop, got a little slippage on there. All right. Now my next one would be the gray piece, which is this one. I'm going to take this and I'm going to run this through. I want a little piercing on this. I apologize I'm doing that off camera, but if I do it on this table, as you can see, I bumped it. I got a little shake going on with this table, so I always try to die cut so it doesn't shake and make you all too dizzy. So you can see I did the reverse piercing of that. And that's it. That's your pattern, right? Off of that sketch. This now goes on top of this. And I can just glue this whole piece down with paper and all. to here. This watermelon paper to me just screamed this whole layout for sure. All right, now if you have followed me at all or been watching any of my videos, I love dimensions, so guess what? We're gonna pop this one up on some dimensionals just to give myself some variance in layers and texture, and I just can't resist myself when it comes to this. So I love texture. I love the texture and I love the variance with dimensionals. So once we're done here, I'm going to throw up the sketches really quick just for you to see. If you are new to Kendra's Card Challenge, the link for everything is going to be in the description below. I highly encourage you to check out doing these challenges. We'd love to have you as a Patreon member. Patreon members get extra benefits. You get bonus printables. You get these mystery kits every month. And it just helps to support keeping this challenge going. But if you are new to card making, these are perfect for you because these give you layouts to try, and it gives you some spark of inspiration to start taking these and then making them your own. And it just gets you going, right? And so that's what just drew me to these, is just if I ever get in a funk for inspiration, guess what? I'm whipping out one of these to use because it just takes the pressure off. All right, for my sentiment, you see that strip in the middle there? That's for your sentiment, right? This is going to go across here, and I'm going to put my little guy over here with this piece going right down the center of that, okay? So let me put this up here. And then I'll add my sentiment to this pink strip that I'm just layering over the top. And this strip was the leftover of this back strip. It was the right size because I just cut 1/4 of an inch off. Then I just cut it to size this way. All right, these are cool. They're stickers. So it doesn't honestly get any easier than this, right? And so I'm going to line this up on the end, just giving myself the same border all the way around. It's easy. I mean, come on. Guess what? Then we're gonna add this little guy, add my little gnomey friend. Nothing better than a gnome as a friend, right? I'd be happy every single day with a gnome friend. And then I'm just going to glue this down. And I'm going to line up this right down the center, like so. I want him hanging off a little bit. So actually, if I line this up to the end of that, get my head in here for 1 second, I apologize. Then I still get a little overhang from him. I love that. And then guess what? We've got a couple flags to make, right? And I'm just going to hand cut these flags to kind of to size and different papers, right? So I'm just going to use a different pattern because I'm going to keep my watermelon stuff going here. And I'm just going to cut these to size, to be honest. Like so. And hand cut these. Going to go a little shorter on him. So I need one full one for the center. Okay. And it's hanging over a little bit. I don't care. It's as close as it's going to get, right? And let's use, we got to use a zigzaggy. And then we're just going to go, we got 2 small ones. So I'm going to use a zigzaggy on both sides here. I'm going to use one on this side and one on the other side. And these ones are about the same size, so we're just going to go a little smaller on these. It's rough, right? I'm just freehanding it because it was easy for me. And as I'm doing this, I want to address one question that's popped up from one of my last Kendra's videos is, can I do a different design on every card versus cutting all of the cards to make a card? Yes, is the question, is the answer. As long as you can use different designer series paper on every card, as long as you can see what the sketch is that you're recreating. But if you want to use different paper and not cut up, you know, all the 6x6s and then piece them together like the puzzle and stuff, by all means, go for it. If you haven't done this before, try doing all those 6x6s and see. All right, come on. Like, it just doesn't get any easier, really. I love this card so very much. This cutie pie is right off of the back of this pad. I just cut them off from this side. And then I just pieced this together. So here's sketch number 8 for you. For our mystery kit, I got the Summer Slice Kit. All this paper is from our prize sponsor, Not Too Shabby Shop. Be sure to check them out. Really great paper here. And then this is for our VIP mystery kits. Patreon members get these kits every single month. And then our stamp set was from Picket Fence. All right, let me just throw this up here really quick as I grab my other stuff. If you have not done these before, these are the sketches for Kendra's Card Challenge number 19. And this is July 1st through September 30th. You can do these 15 cards every single month and enter 3 times, or you can just do it once per quarter and enter 1 time. That is completely up to you. But you can do the 6x6s. Like, she's got the sketches that once you download this, you're going to get all those sketches, all those patterns and everything in there. And the directions and download and everything will be in the description below. So please, I highly encourage you, if you have not done this, do it, do it, do it. You're not going to be disappointed. Okay. Here is my sample kit that I got, and I couldn't resist doing a sketch here for you. So this one is going to be sketch number 13. This is the paper, and I'll show you the other papers that on the next card. These are the papers that came with it. Then I also got some extra little pieces of paper from Brass Bliss. Was in this. All this stuff is from Brass Bliss. The Delightful Dahlia paper. The sentiments right here were from the bonus printable from Kendra's Card Challenge for our members. And so I'm going to do sketch number 13 here for you. What I've done is I took just one of my little floral scallop dies, cut out the middle so that I could use that for my scallop. And then this guy is going to be my very back of that, okay? Then I'm going to take the piece that says it needs to be textured or embossed. I'm going to use plain white paper, and I just went this way. I just did a basket weave embossing folder. Nice, classic, because I had the flowers. I thought the flowers, the basket kind of theme, all kind of went, right? And then my one layer, I'm just doing black. And so I'm just going to put this right onto my black because I thought that just standard black would pop off that purple and just give me that tiny, tiny little bit of border, because I just did it by the measurements to make this pop, like so. Then we're going to glue this down because that cutout gets all hidden from my card. So don't forget to do, we call it gutting. But if I got a fair amount, I used to gut a lot, and then I just kind of forget about it sometimes, especially for my card panels and things. I should be gutting out things more and saving pieces for stuff like this, and I just don't do it enough. All right, then I took these papers with the leaves and the florals, and a floral here, and I just used a standard little circle die and cut out my flower, and I cut out some greenery for my patterned paper that I'm going to use for this sketch. And this is just purely to show you, you can use these sketches to recreate stuff for cards. I mean, this is what I was talking before. If you run out of ideas, or if you're a new card maker and you're just not sure what to do, these are great for taking stuff like this and whipping a card together in no time. I'm using some of the pink paper that came from my mystery kit to mix with this just a little bit. To stack these up because it matched. It matched that purple so nice. And there's some pink and purple in these flowers, which it all matches. I find sometimes, a lot of times, I shouldn't even say sometimes, I find that these sketches, if you're just making a card, are great scrap busters too. Like really, really great scrap busters. This is the back of one of the papers that are going to be coming up next on my next card that came in this little sample kit, but it had a pinkish purple lavender kind of back on it. So I flipped it. I added just a sentiment to go with my scallop die. Like so. All right. And my idea was to put this here, these here, and then this here. So I'm just looking really quick to space. So I think I'm going to go halvesies here and then cut those halves off. So we're just going to go half and half, like a good coffee creamer, half and half. And I'm just going to go eyeball this and center it. Center here, and do the same thing here. I'm going to go halvesies. And center. I'm going to get my head in here for one quick second above just to make sure I'm lined up nice. Like so. All right. Now, I am going to... Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to do these like so, and I'm going to pop up my middle guy. Now, these are just even Steven on both sides. And I'm just kind of overlapping the circle edge just a little bit. Like so. And I'm going to hold this up to make sure I'm keeping this all in a line, which I am. Okay. You guessed it. This is going to go up on some dimensionals. So if you haven't already, I hope this is encouraging you to go down in that description below, click on that link to go download the printable of all the sketches and all the instructions and your instructions on how to cut out your 6x6 paper. It is free to download. You just got to get your email in to get your download, and then on the Patreon site, it is part of free, but if you want to be a paying member, you get all the extras like the mystery kit and things like that. All right, sorry, centering here, centering. And we are, whoop. Come on. We're just going to cut these off. And guess what? I'm not throwing these away because I could use these on another card for sure. I'm a scrap hoarder, that is for sure. This is sketch number 13. Come on, how easy is that? Out of a little sampler kit that I got, right? So don't be shy to take these sketches and make them your own with some other scraps. All right, we've got one more. I want to show you sketch number 9. This is all from this sample kit. And let me show you what I have left from the papers. This is what's left of the papers that was in this sample kit that I've used. So we're going to throw that aside. And you know what? Where did I just throw that card? Yeah. Let me grab, she also gave me some little jewels. So we're just going to throw a couple of these on here. I'll throw one right next to my sentiment. We'll go 2. And then I think we're going to go off the page a little bit and go 3. Alright, I'm going to go 4 or 5. I'm going to do some small ones right down here. Actually. 4 and we're going to go right here. 5. Little bling bling. Couldn't resist to use that bling bling. Okay. Sketch number 9. You've got a pinwheel. Let me show you a cheat way to do this rather than cutting out all your squares. that if you put these squares together, it makes a 3x3 square, and then you're cutting this way to get all your 4 squares. Cut your 3x3 square, find your center, which is here, okay? Then what I do is I take my trimmer and I cut down to that center. Okay, so this is my template just to show you. I cut down to that center, but don't cut all the way through. Leave that little bit of the middle. Then I cut the other 4 squares out with my pattern paper, and we're just going to overlay it on this rather than fiddle fuss with all these squares, right? So let me show you. This is my 3x3. Half of 3x3 is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go to 1.5 inches. Okay. And I see where I X the middle, so I'm going to come right down almost to that middle, but not all the way. And I'm going to go all the way around. And I've got myself a cheating template here. I'm not worried about that X in the middle because I'm going to cover it up with a little something something to add a little something something to this card. Then what I did is I just took my shears and I cut just as close to that middle as I can without cutting all the way through. And I just was safeguarding it from my trimmer, so I didn't cut it, slice it. And then I just finished, okay? All right, now I cut out 4 pieces of the pattern paper. But if I flip these over, I got color on the back side of this paper. This is all sample paper from Brass Bliss Paper, okay? I'm gonna use the colored mixed in with the pattern. Now what you do is you, with your template, you insert here, and I just line up with this, my little X, corner to corner, and I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, so I just know I've got a little glue right here on this corner. Insert, and I line this up, and I point that corner to that corner. Okay, so now it's my first one. Now this overlays on this, and I'm going to go every other. This overlays on this, doing the same exact thing. Okay, and I'm going to just slice a tiny bit more so I can get that just a little bit in there. Okay, that didn't move on me. All right, now this one's going to go in here like so. Insert, line that up, pointing to the corner so I get it like that. Alternate with my blue, and then this one. I can actually glue this, tack this down now, and same with this one. I can tack that one down now. And then I'm going to blue, line that up, point to the corner, line that up with my line down here. I think just doing it this way is much easier than trying to cut out all the squares and fiddle fuss with the squares. Now I just find it easier. I looked at this card going, this stuff sometimes makes my brain go, not gonna happen, not doing it. So I try to look at this and like, how can I make this easier and still do this layout? And nobody will be any the wiser because they don't need to know my secret. That's it. It looks like I cut all the squares out. I just love that. Okay, now I had got this blue paper, and then I had this pattern paper that came in this little kit she gave me. Flip that over, it was yellow. I didn't want too much pattern, so I'm gonna go yellow. We're just gonna go bright and sunny with a blue sky in the background and some sun on top shining through. And I cut this to, I just did that on the wrong side too, didn't I? I may have to see if I can get that off in time. I was chit-chatting and I was so excited about this sunshine. That still might work. I think I can cover this up. I'm going to modify this slightly to cover up that little mistake. And I'm cool with that. I was trying to sacrifice this absolutely gorgeous paper is what I was trying to do. Okay. Like so. this will go right like so. And then I cut out my middle. So I'm going to actually glue all this down. I don't want any dimensionals on this one actually. Shocker, I know. So I'm just going to glue all this down. Line this up. I think I want to go this. I'm going to go white. White corners here. Then my leaves I had cut out. And I want this. And then I was going to just tuck some leaves. I thought it'd be cool just to tuck some leaves around this little guy. So we're going to go, I think we're going to go here. And here and here. And if I lay that down, I've just got to move those out. And I'm going to keep all this just flat. No dimensionals on this at all. Like so. And tack this down. I was crazy and fussy cut this flower out, but it probably took me like a minute. It was just snipping like this. So it wasn't horrible. So then I modified that. Then I just already got it cut here. I took a strip. Where'd my 1/4 inch strip? Oh, here it is. 1/4 inch strip to go all the way across. And I'm going to do pattern up. And I'm going to cover up my little glue piece here where I screwed up. And actually, you know what? I'm going to bring it up just a little bit because I think my sentiment is going to cover that anyway. Because I did a sentiment with just some oval cut. I did black and white, and I just did just a note sentiment with some die cutting. The stickers, again, would be great because you could do a sticker right above and below from those printables. And now I'm going to add a little dimensional to this to pop that up. And it is asking me to add a little bow. And bows are typically not my forte, but we're gonna give her a little whirl here. All right, so pop this up, which is fantastic. This is gonna cover my little mucky muck here in the corner. And I'm gonna just bring it down just a little bit by default to cover up my mistake. Okay. All right, we're just gonna do a little bow here. See if I can do this. Tie, tie, and then tighten this in a little bit to make a nice cute little bow. And my friend Delise, I think it was the other night, or PJ Stamper, somebody the other night on one of my lives said, put a little glue on that, it'll keep it from coming apart in the mail. I'm like, oh, great idea. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use a little dangle on this one. And then, just gonna take a little glue dot, like so. Oop. Come on. And glue that little puppy down. Right there. Tighten a little bit. And then if you put just a little glue on your knot, it'll dry clear. That'll just keep that from coming loose in the mail. Sketch number 9. Easy. This was from a sample pack that I got, right? So if you're doing the sketches, when you do this sketch, you know, you might want to just modify this a little bit. It's going to probably take from different pieces. One big piece is that orange. So you could do the 3x3 and not cut this into your 4. And you can do it my way if you want. So there you have it. This is, oh boy, that zoomed in on me, didn't it? Back up. I'm not sure why that zoomed in. This is one. Here's your mystery kit, and here's your other one. Thank you all so very much. I'm going to back up. Thank you all so very much. Be sure to hit that hop. We got 2 more. Go to Jana and go to our guest designer, Shalana, for our mystery kit for August. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Go to the KCC Kendra's Card Challenge site. Download the printable and subscribe and get yourself a mystery kit. All right? Until next time, I'll see you then.